I'm not doing this to excuse the actions of the Virginia Tech gunman, nor to diminish the enormous amount of pain of the families, friends, and all that were involved in this tragedy. I'm doing this because I felt if I could reach someone, somewhere, who might stop and think before inflicting unnecessary pain on other humans, whether it's through bullying, teasing, harassing, or worse yet, physical violence, and to speak to those who have felt pain, especially through bullies, so much so that they wall themselves up trying to protect themselves from the unthinking, uncaring few that we share this planet with. I know the pain of feeling all alone in the world as a child. I know feelings of hopelessness and confusion, bruised by thoughtless words and actions of others. There is hope. Never give up. Find someone you can talk to. Don't give up reaching out. There are people who care, I swear to you. Don't get sucked into the vacuum of thinking there is no one that cares. I am living, breathing proof that life can get better. I'm living my dreams. I'm happy. I'm loved, and I'm not alone. The nightmares are gone, and I am a peaceful person. Later, I acted out through an eating disorder, self-mutilation, and drinking. The day after graduating high school, while my fellow classmates were boarding a plane for the senior trip to Europe, I was headed to the emergency room for attempted suicide. I know pain. I know the hard work ahead to heal, but it is worth it, and it is possible. I am that person you teased. I moved from the south to the north, and with me came my baggage, and a full-blown, as you'd like to call it, that hillbilly accent. I was an easy target, not only new to a school, but to a neighborhood, and thus had no friends. I was short and talked funny, at least to you. Perhaps it made you feel better to pick on me because my clothes were different. After all, I had no friends, so I must be a loser. And listen to the way she talks. The way she talks. She doesn't even know how to talk. Being short made it easier too, didn't it? After all, what's she gonna do? Pop you in the kneecaps? It's only kids being kids. It's only innocent fun. No, no, it's not. So why didn't I fight back? Being new to a school? Being shy? Being outnumbered? These are all pretty good excuses. But what you didn't know is in my home, I watched my father beat my mother. And what you didn't care to know is my mother was a hard worker, supporting me and my grandmother after my parents' divorce. Or that my father once kidnapped me and hid me away for 6 months, forcing my mother to go back to him, where he beat her so bad she ended up in the hospital. Yes, I know, kids can be cruel. But I couldn't tell my mother. She had a full plate, and I couldn't tell you because you were not my friend. My mother worked 2 shifts to provide for us. You even think it's funny when you find out my grandmother is blind. By ninth grade, I had attended 13 schools. Rarely was there time to make friends. For a time, my grandmother would not let me go outside to play, even in our own yard. Sometimes school was it for outside human contact. It wasn't that my grandmother was mean. She wanted to protect me, and this was the only way she knew. I would have had an older sister, but she died before I was born, so my grandmother was taking no chances with me. I was taught not to cry, and I guess you didn't like that either, so you had to resort to violence. Beating me up became an after-school special, and if it hadn't been for a couple of wonderful girls, no telling what I'd look like today. I wish that I could find these twin girls from Detroit. All I remember were their first names, Dolly and Molly. Thank you for stepping in and standing up for me, and then walking me home, and for being my friends. And then we moved. Again. I do not condone nor pretend to understand the actions of the gunmen who took innocent lives at Virginia Tech. There is no acceptable excuse. My only intention is to shine a light on an issue that is taken too lightly by some, and that can sometimes escalate into serious school violence. and to offer hope to those who feel isolated and victimized by bullies. You do have options beyond hurting yourself or others. In a previous video, I share one of the people who has inspired me, Maya Angelou. She wrote a poem that says it all, "And Still I Rise."